VSWville, how you all doing? It is your boy, VSW here. Welcome back to the channel. WrestleMania 37. Woo! What a WrestleMania that was. And let me start off by saying that I absolutely loved the set. Everything about it, including the pirate ship, was awesome. And there were a lot of awesome moments from this year's WrestleMania. But there were also some bad moments, like Randy Orton beating The Fiend with just one RKO. One RKO. 2019 Hell in a Cell, The Fiend kicked out of 11 stomps from Seth Rollins. For WrestleMania 37, he couldn't kick out of one RKO from Randy Orton and Alexa Bliss? What? You know what? I'll talk more about that match another time because today I want to talk about night one of WrestleMania. So let's grab a seat and get to it. Mr. McMahon welcomed the returning WWE Universe to WrestleMania. And it was awesome to see the WWE Universe in attendance again. And if I remember correctly, it has been 1 year, 1 month, and 1 day since the WWE had a live audience. But again, it was awesome to see them in attendance again. Then, Baby Rexha performed America the Beautiful. And it was a beautiful performance. I loved it. And the WrestleMania video package was awesome. I liked it. And then the show was supposed to begin with the WWE Championship match between the almighty WWE Champion Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. But the show was delayed for a couple of minutes because of the rain. So what did they do to pass the time? They did some interviews backstage with Shane McMahon, Bobby Lashley and MVP, Drew McIntyre, The New Day, Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens, Bianca Belair, Seth Rollins, and The Miz and John Morrison. Seth Rollins called Kevin Mike, and he called Cesaro Cesaro. I never heard that one before, and it wasn't funny. And Michael Cole called WrestleMania WrestleMania. Get it? WrestleMania. You know, because it was raining. So, WrestleMania. I've never heard that one before, and it wasn't funny. Braun Strowman, he said that bullies don't win in life, and I 100% agree with him on that. Bullying sucks, and nobody deserves to be bullied at any time, anywhere, for any reason. Bullying has gone on long and far enough. Bullying needs to stop because, again, nobody deserves to be bullied. Nobody, and ever. Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley had an awesome heated confrontation. That got me really excited for the WWE Championship match. Also, we saw the co-host, the 2020 Warrior Award recipient, Titus O'Neil, and the Hulkster Hulk Hogan. And it sounded like the WWE Universe still don't care about Hulk Hogan because they were booing the life out of him. Will they ever like Hulk Hogan again? Probably not. But anyway, later, the weather finally calmed down and the show could finally begin. So, we finally get to our first match, where the almighty WWE Champion Bobby Lashley defended the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. This was a very good match. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre crushed it. And there was a point in the match where Drew McIntyre locked in the Kimura lock to Bobby Lashley. And you know that submission move where the people in the UFC do? The move where Brock Lesnar used to do when he was in WWE? Yeah. And he tried to go for the Claymore, but couldn't get him. And he hit Bobby Lashley with 3 Future Shock DDTs. 3. But they weren't enough to beat the almighty WWE Champion. Fast forward to the end, Bobby Lashley locked Drew McIntyre in the Hurt Lock, and Drew McIntyre tried to escape, but he couldn't do it. And he passed out, allowing Bobby Lashley to win the match and retain the WWE Championship. And that was a very good move, because although I love Drew McIntyre, it is still way too early for the almighty era to end. So I'm glad Bobby Lashley won, and I'm glad he retained the WWE title. That was the correct move. The almighty era continues. 3 out of 5. Very good match. Thumbs up. And then we had a backstage segment with the NWO, Titus O'Neil, and Bayley. Bayley not having a match at this year's WrestleMania was a mistake. It was horrible, because Bayley is the longest SmackDown Women's Champion in WWE history. And if I remember correctly, she held on to the SmackDown Women's title for over 300 days before finally losing it to Sasha Banks at Hell in a Cell, inside Hell in a Cell. So to me, Bayley should have had a match at WrestleMania. But it was good to see her on the show, and at least she did something. And she tried to get everyone to too sweet her, but nobody did. Well, except for X-Pac. Next, horrible match. I didn't like it at all. Lana and Naomi versus the Riot Squad versus Natalya and Tamina versus Carmella and Billie Kay versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke in the tag team turmoil to determine who would challenge Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for the Women's Tag Team Championships on night 2. This match was horrible. I didn't like it at all. Carmella and Billie Kay eliminated Lana and Naomi. Speaking of Lana and Naomi, they were my picks to win. The Riot Squad eliminated Billie Kay and Carmella responded with a super kick. The Riot Squad eliminated Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. And speaking of Mandy Rose, she had a little WrestleMania moment of her own when she slipped and fell during her entrance. And I'm glad she didn't really hurt herself. I'm glad she was fine. And I'm sorry that happened, but accidents happen everywhere, all the time, to everyone. Anyway, Natalya and Tamina won the tag team turmoil. Natalya was going for the sharpshooter, but then she changed her mind and tagged in Tamina, allowing her to get the win for the team. Again, this match was garbage. It was horrible. It was boring. It was lame. It was horrible. I didn't like it at all. 2 out of 5, 2 thumbs down. It was horrible. And the problem was that the Riot Squad were the only actual tag team in that match. So really, they should have won. But they didn't. Natalya and Tamina did. Wrong move, horrible match. It was garbage. And I dropped the rest of my results. Hold up. I just hated that tag team turmoil match. It was horrible. Next, we had Cesaro in his first ever singles match at WrestleMania taking on Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins' new entrance theme was all right. And when the match started, Cesaro immediately struck Seth Rollins with an uppercut, and then he immediately tried to swing him around. And throughout the match, Cesaro tried to swing Seth Rollins around. But every time he tried, he failed. Cesaro hit Seth Rollins with a neutralizer, but it wasn't enough to win the match. Seth Rollins hit Cesaro with the pedigree. Yes, Seth Rollins used Triple H's move again, but that wasn't enough to beat Cesaro. And there was a corkscrew splash in the match. And then Cesaro did the UFO spin to Seth Rollins. You know, no hands. And then later in the match, Cesaro finally swung Seth Rollins around 23 times, beating his record of 22 on SmackDown a few weeks ago. And speaking of which, that may have possibly been and may still possibly be the greatest Cesaro swing of all time. And of course, the funniest, because Seth Rollins' reaction when Cesaro was spinning him around, or while Cesaro was spinning him around, was hilarious. He had me laughing. He was like, no, put me down, no. I better stop if I make myself dizzy, but you get the point. It was hilarious. I loved it. And I'm glad that he was able to swing Seth Rollins around at WrestleMania. And then he hit Seth Rollins with another neutralizer to get his first ever singles win at WrestleMania. This was a very good match. I loved it. 3 out of 5. Thumbs up. Both men were awesome. Next, we had Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods with Big E defending the Raw Tag Team titles against the phenomenal AJ Styles and Omos. Or Omos. Omos. And I'm not really going to say too much about this match. So I'm just going to say that it was awesome to see Big E doing the New Day Feel the Power thing again. And AJ Styles and Omos won the Raw Tag Team titles. Omos was a beast. He was a monster. He was unstoppable. And I don't see him and AJ Styles losing the tag team titles anytime soon. 3 out of 5. Good tag team match. Thumbs up. Next, another horrible match. Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon inside a steel cage. This may have possibly been and may still be one of the worst steel cage matches that I have ever seen in my entire life. If it isn't the worst steel cage match I have ever seen in my life. It was so horrible. It was so lame. It was so boring. It was so stupid. And it was a complete waste of time. It should have never happened. Or it never should have happened. And of course, Elias and Jackson Riker tried to help Shane McMahon win the match. Every time they tried, they failed. Although they did attack him earlier in the match. And Shane McMahon hit Braun Strowman with the coast to coast. Didn't really care. And when it looked like Shane McMahon was going to escape the cage, Braun Strowman ripped it open and just stopped Shane. And then while they were at the top of the cage, Shane McMahon knocked Braun Strowman down with a toolbox. A toolbox. Whatever. And also while they were at the top, Braun Strowman grabbed Shane McMahon and threw him down onto the mat. And did Braun Strowman climb up the cage and escape? No. He jumped down and hit Shane McMahon with a running power slam to get the win. And once again, this match was horrible. One of the worst steel cage matches I have ever seen, and one of the most boring steel cage matches I have ever seen. 2 out of 5. 2 thumbs down. Horrible and a complete waste of time. Oh yeah, and let me quickly get back to the tag team turmoil match when Billie Kay teamed up with Carmella. What? That makes me miss the Iconics even more. And speaking of the Iconics, WWE breaking them up was one of the dumbest and worst decisions that they have ever made. Because ever since they broke up, they were terrible. Because Peyton Royce teamed up with Lacey Evans? What? Nobody, absolutely nobody wanted to see Peyton Royce team up with Lacey Evans. And Lacey Evans has been absent lately because she's pregnant and she's going to become a mother. I congratulate her on that. I know she's going to be a great mother. Seriously, WWE, why? Why did you break the Iconics up? And now Billie Kay teaming up with Carmella. WWE, so stupid for breaking up the Iconics. They shouldn't have done that, but they did. Why, WWE, why? Why did y'all do that? Why did y'all break the Iconics up? Why? Why? Moving on. After the horrible steel cage match, we got to see Bayley again, and we saw everyone who was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2020. You know, got inducted into the 2020 Hall of Fame. Well, everyone except for Dave Bautista. He'll be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in the future. And the next match, I can't wait to talk about. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest took on The Miz and John Morrison. Let me first get to the bad part. Bunnies came out as part of The Miz and John Morrison's entrance. And they came out to the Hey, Hey, Hop Pop song. Hey, hey, ho, ho, the Dizzy promotes. To tell you guys the truth, I don't really like Hey, Hey, Hop Pop. I just don't. I'd much rather listen to Hey, 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 ho, ho, the Universal Champion needs to go. Hey, 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 Braun with the band till he was 6 years old. Hey, 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 ho, ho, on Strowman's dumber than Lana's TikToks. Instead of just shoes, this dork wears Crocs. Ew. To me, that is a much better song. And I'd rather listen to that than Hey, Hey, Hop Hop. I'm just being honest. What do you guys think about Hey, Hey, Hop Hop? Do y'all like the song? Let me know down in the comments below. Bad Bunny, his entrance was awesome because he came out riding on top of a semi-truck. That was so awesome. And Booker T was on commentary during that match, which made sense because he was part of Bad Bunny's music video, Booker T. So again, Booker T being out there for Bad Bunny's match made a whole lot of sense. And Bad Bunny, without question, was the MVP of that match. He was so unbelievable. He was awesome. He did an awesome job. And that Canadian Destroyer, that Bunny Destroyer that he did to John Morrison, was one of the greatest things that I have ever seen in my whole entire life as a professional wrestling fan. That was how The Miz usually says it. Awesome! And that may have possibly been and may still be the greatest. No. One of the greatest celebrity WWE matches of all time. Because again, Bad Bunny was awesome. And I can't think of another celebrity who did an awesome job in the ring like Bad Bunny. Can you? Let me know down in the comments below. 3 out of 5 for the tag team match. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest won. Good move. I'm glad they won. Bad Bunny was awesome. And now, the event of the evening, where the Boss Sasha Banks in green and blue defended the Women's Tag Team Championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship, against the winner of the 2021 Women's Royal Rumble match and the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair. I am so happy for both Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. They both deserved the main event, WrestleMania, Night 1. And Bianca Belair, she definitely deserves the SmackDown Women's Championship. You know what that means? Bianca Belair defeated Sasha Banks to become the new SmackDown Women's Champion. So now, Bianca Belair is no longer just the EST of WWE. She is now the SmackDown Women's Champion, and I couldn't be happier for her. She deserves it. And after that unbelievable performance, both Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair deserves all the love, respect, and support in the world. Because again, that was an awesome, unbelievable, and unforgettable performance. And it will be remembered for a very, very long time. So again, huge congrats to both Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair on main eventing night 1 of WrestleMania, and huge congrats to Bianca Belair on becoming the new SmackDown Women's Champion. She deserves it. She really does. 4 out of 5, awesome match. And that's it for night 1 of WrestleMania. So overall, night 1 of WrestleMania from the leader of VSWville gets at least a 5 out of 10. At least a 5. The best match, Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. The worst match, either the Tag Team Turmoil match or the Steel Cage match between Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman. Which match did you think was the worst? Let me know down in the comments down below. And that'll do it for my review of night 1 of WrestleMania. Again, my review for the second night will be coming later this week. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, smash that like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video with all of your wrestling friends, invite them to join VSWville, and as always, God bless, take care, stay safe. Welcome to VSWville. I'm a pro wrestling fan forever. I'm a pro wrestling fan till death. And that's the bottom line. Why? Because VSW said so. Thank you all once again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Stay safe, wear a mask. Peace. The leader of VSWville, out.